So this morning, folks, we continue our Family First series by talking about some of the issues that blended families may encounter and how to navigate them. Join us for this discussion. And I think Latoya will understand why I say it this way. Dancing Latoya Deslanders. I think she'll understand. It's a little inside joke. Good morning, Latoya. Welcome to Smile. How are you?
Good morning, Neville. Thanks so much for having me. I'm so happy to be here with you.
Brilliant. Really great to have you. Let me start with who/what is a blended family?
Well, that's a great place to start. All right. So a blended family is created when a man and a woman come together and they bring with them a child or children from a previous relationship. You know, some persons may be familiar with the term step families as opposed to the term blended family.
Yeah.
And there's also like insta families, reconstituted families, complex families. You know, there are different ways of referring to this.
Right. So I would be the stepfather of your daughter or son if we got together.
Yes.
And that's what you mean by a blended family.
Yeah.
And that happens all the time, doesn't it? That's not.
It does.
We have many families like that.
Mm-hmm. Definitely,
all right. So
we do.
Take me through it. What are some of the issues first before you tell me how we could solve some of these issues? All right, so what are some of the issues? One of them says sibling rivalry. Explain that.
Yes. Okay, all right. So even in a nuclear family, you know, you have sibling rivalry where the siblings are kind of competing for attention, or they are having a lot of squabbles with each other because of different issues. So in a step family, then the children are definitely going to be having those squabbles, and you know, it may even be worse in that case. Yep. Because they wouldn't have probably built a relationship with each other from before.
Yeah, I was not a part of a blended family, but yeah, you're right. I mean, I have plenty of rivalry with my siblings. I think I still have some rivalry with them. I know. The next one says kids need attention. So you have to, I guess you need to ensure that everyone is getting, I don't know if you can say equal attention, because I'm not certain that is necessarily easy to do depending on the age and stuff like that. But they need attention, don't they?
Yes. They definitely do, Neville, because remember now, especially if you're coming out of a single parent situation too, where I have my mommy or my daddy all to myself. Now, I'm going to have to share my parent with not just another adult, but also children, if there are other children coming into the picture. So now I'm going to be wondering, okay, am I forgotten? Have you remembered me, mommy? You know, so it is so important to give children the attention that they need.
Yep. This one that I'm going to speak about now, there was a time that actually one of my sons was a part of this, and I remember him telling me one day that him say, "Daddy, I'm going like him is my father." And he didn't appreciate the fact that he was going on like he was the father. So this one said step-parent discipline. And I can remember my son said, "Daddy, I'm going like my father, but he's not my father." Yes. And that's important also because as a stepfather, I still have a role to play with my stepchild, don't I?
Oh, definitely. And you know, it is so important that the parents come together and kind of discuss, okay, this is how it's going to go. This is how we're going to do discipline. I'd rather discipline the child in this particular situation as opposed to that situation. So it's so important that the parents come together and then present a united front to rear the children. But it is important that you recognize the child is going to take a time. It's going to take time for this child to know, think of this person in that role as daddy or as mommy. And so don't force them to call you mommy or daddy, right? Yeah. Give them time before they can do that. And you can agree on, say, a name to call them until they're ready, like say uncle or auntie or something like that. So, you know, it's important to decide who is going to discipline the child in different situations.
I was going to ask that because I'm the step and you are the biological. Should I say, well, you do the disciplining, or I can do it also? How does it work? And what You said you need to talk about it, but is the child involved in this conversation, this communication between mother and stepfather, or stepmother
Yes.
and father? Is the child involved in that conversation?
Well, in terms of, say, the house rules, it is important that the parents come together first and have their conversation, because no matter how you put it, the parents are in charge, right? At some point, the child also needs to be taken in, not just as it concerns discipline, but, you know, just how are things gonna go in this household? What is this new arrangement gonna be like for me? So not just discipline, but let it be a balanced conversation of just about everything that this child is gonna now need to adjust to, and not just focusing on the discipline itself, though that is a very important aspect. So yes, at some point the child is brought into the conversations, because it won't take one conversation. It probably take years, guys, you know, for everybody to really be blended. It will take time. So patience is also important.
This one I didn't understand when I saw the headline, and in reading just a couple paragraphs, I still didn't fully understand. It says lack of family bonds. What does that mean in the first place, and how does that work?
Okay, all right. So in referring to the family bonds, sometimes the family just doesn't feel. Well, you may be referring to bonds outside of this new situation. Okay. I don't know if you're referring to maybe bonding with the parent that, you know, is not in this new situation.
The parent.
Or you're referring to this now new blended family. Do I feel as if I'm a part of this family?
Right.
Do I feel as if I'm just, you know, this individual left out on a limb by myself? Or am I creating a bond with the different members of my family? Are we doing activities together, creating new memories and those things? Because outside of that, it would be like the child would feel all alone, as if he's just, you know, going through this thing by himself. So being bonded to the family is an important aspect.
And you've given us many ways to deal with this, but in coming to the end of this interview, kind of recap and tell the parents, whether it's the mother or the father is the step, how they can ensure that they can still have a wonderful family, whether it's a biological child or not.
Oh, yes. Okay, so it is so important that parents bear in mind the children. Yes, you're gonna have time to concentrate on your relationship as the two adults coming together, but the children are really being put in a whole new situation here. And so it is important that parents and step-parents communicate as it surrounds, you know, all the needs of the child, and just give the child time. Be patient, and also be aware that there's some grieving that the child might be experiencing, you know, grieving the past situation with their mommy and daddy and so on. So give that child time, and also ensure that you give them the space to talk, to express how they feel, and without getting any judgment from you, you know? So bear the child in mind, because this is the one that you need to ensure you take care of.
Amazing. Great words. Yes. Great words. Thank you so much. I was going to ask you to do a little dance for me, but there's no music now, so I won't put you through that. Thanks so much.
I can dance without music.
All right, there you go. Thanks so much for being with us this morning. Blessings to you and your family. God bless.
All right, thank you. Thanks for having me, Neville.
It's our pleasure. Psychotherapist, Latoya Deslanders.